Good morning, my garden friends, and Happy New Year. I hope everyone's having a great day. I just wanted to come on and tell you that I'm going to try and put dub January as my get my seeds in the ground month. So I've gotten a little bit of my weeding done, and I think I'm ready to get a few things in the ground and get them started. And if not in the ground, at least in pots. So if you followed me before, you guys know that I have these two, well actually I have four great oblong planters. And I'm going to turn the camera around and show you, there we go, show you two of these. And I spent yesterday going through just a handful at a time and pulling out all the cocoons. I could not believe that I had so many cocoons in that had developed. I had spinach growing in here, and so I kept the soil nice and moist. And I think because of that, all the little worms that I did have were making babies. And so I wanted to get this started again. And what I did is I actually take my soil and I go through just, a handful at a time, and I kind of work with it. And then I wanted to add castings to this. Now the castings that I had, I came out of, that I just added them to, came out of my good old Folgers, and I had three of these, and I went through these, the castings, a few weeks ago, and I pulled out, oh gee, I don't know, maybe 30 little babies, and they were, as far as I can see, they were all wigglers. And so I put those in my Meals on Wheels on the left-hand side that I've been trying to make sure that I kept as as red wigglers only. And then the worms that I'm really not sure about, I've taken out of soil in the front yard. I've put over here. So if they are mixed, well then this is the mixed bin, and then this is the red wiggler bin. So anyway, the castings of course came from that. And what I'm going to plant today is some this is Japanese giant red mustard. And I'm doing this in the back porch, even though these trays are going to be on the front porch, because I wanted to, should have cleaned that off a little better, shouldn't I? Anyway, I wanted to show you what they look like when they're, the leaves are grown up. But I'm also showing off my new gloves that were clean until just now. And these came from Gardener Supply, and they are absolutely the best glove. This is a small. I have what I consider a large hand for a woman, and I take a small. And Rick, who can never get gloves to fit him, I buy the large for him, and they're so thin but so strong that he can maneuver his camera with it. So anyway, I just put the castings on the top, and what I want to do is just kind of like work it through that top inch instead of putting a whole bunch of castings throughout the whole thing. If I just do it to the top inch or so, then I really get a nice rich soil there, don't I? And I'll do that to both of these and just kind of stir that around. And then I'm going to try and do this one-handed, which I think I'm probably going to have a problem trying to do it one-handed. And they're really tiny, very tiny seeds. Let me see if I can I show you those seeds? You see how tiny they are? They're almost like little, tiny little pinheads. So what I'm going to do is back this off to where I can see it, and then just sprinkle a few over the surface. And because it is so tiny, so tiny, and I'll do this to the second one too, is that I'm just going to pat it down. And you know, I used to always make my soil super fluffy and try to make it like there was so much air in it. And when my seedlings would come up, because I thought, oh well, you know, I want to make it as easy as possible for the seedlings to come up, that and then they'd come up, you know, they look great, they'd come up really fast, and they look nice and healthy, and then all of a sudden, then they would get very stringy and plop over. And I've had that happen with quite a few of my seedlings that I'm growing in really light soil. And I was watching, I think it was Charles Dowding, and he said he's kind of like the old guru of the no-dig garden. He's been around for many years, and really a guy who has a tremendous amount of knowledge if you ever want to watch somebody in those lines. And he said it's nice to make your soil fluffy, but you really want to give your seeds, you want to make them work for it. In other words, they don't have to be in the lightest of soil. Make them work for getting up there and putting down some strong roots. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And so that's what I'm going to try and do, is that I really kind of pat this down, and even out in his raised beds, you know, they don't walk on them much, but he said you can walk on them. But I just wanted to show you what this giant Japanese mustard looks like when it's grown. Don't know if we're going to get in too much sunlight. I'm going to try and be the shadow here. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it lovely? And it has a great flavor. It tastes like wasabi. And at this size, you really want to cook it. It's very sharp. And as you can see, I've weeded and I've pulled everything out so that I can start growing again. But anyway, that was all I wanted to show you there. Oh well, you can see where everything still looks about the same. We'll play out here later. And my tea leaves still look good, tea plants. Sorry about that swing. But anyway, that's all I'm going to show you because I want to do as many of these as I can. And so today I'm just going to do these two. And the reason I'm doing two at the same time is because we like this when it's really small. So it's almost like I'm growing microgreens, and they start very easily if you can get these. These are from Baker's Creek, and I'm sure other people have it. Maybe, I don't know, but these were very easy to get started. And when the leaves are about 3 inches long, maybe 3 to 4 inches long, they make the best salad, because it's like, I don't know, if you have salad and you have an onion on it, you know how whenever you bite into the onion, even if it's a mild onion, you get a difference in flavor. Well, this kind of gives you that back of the throat bite without your mouth going, oh my God, was this, what is the red pepper sauce? My husband uses it all the time. He pours it on everything. But anyway, this just gives a nice, like a real mild wasabi flavor. And so that's what I'm doing today, is that I'm going to plant up both of these, And hopefully in about 3 weeks I will have some nice salad greens. So I want you to all get out there. If your weather is icy cold and you can't, at least get your catalogs out and start planning. And if you are in the South, then get some of these seeds because they really they grew really well for me in the spring, and it didn't really, we weren't really all that hot. We were in the 70s, but it they grew all summer long. They took the heat like a champ. The ones that I showed you out here in the backyard were really left, and they had I think I had marigolds and stuff growing around it, and I actually lost sight of it until I weeded everything, and I thought, holy moly, where were you hiding? So it will withstand the heat, but I don't think that you'd have to have a summer heat to get it going. So anyway, give these a chance, and if you have other seeds, I hope you'll put those in the ground. And remember to garden what you've got, and have a wonderful New Year's Day. And I hope to see everyone back real soon. Take care now. Bye bye.